Hello everyone, I'm jdflutes. I thought I would do something a little bit different with you all. I thought I would do a video of the same key or the same tone, but one is high and one is low. I thought that would be a pretty good comparison, just in case if you wanted to purchase a high and a low, you would know what it sounds like together. These flutes here, they're both in the key of B flat, tuned to 432 Hertz, but one, like this little small one here, it is a high B. That's why it's so short. The shorter you go, the higher the voice. The longer you go, the deeper the voice. That's how it always works. So this small one here, like I said, is a B flat tuned to 432 Hertz, but it's a high B. And this one here, of course, is a bass B flat tuned to 432 Hertz. Now both of these flutes are made from aromatic cedar. Aromatic cedar will produce the best possible voices for each flute. They both have perfectly clear tones. They are concert tuned. They are recording quality. They take very little breath. Even with the small flute, it takes very little breath. You can play it with harder breath, but if you do, it'll be out of tune. It'll have a higher tone. So if you play it with the right amount of breath, you will stay within the 432 Hertz range. But first, I'm going to show you a little bit about this one here. This high B flat is an oil finish. It's an oil finish. This is a customer's flute. This customer here, he wanted a plain flat block fetish. Now I normally don't tie my leather like this on the plain flat block fetishes. It's just that this customer wanted to put a 3/4 of an inch turquoise stone here in the middle. That's why I spaced it out to where he can get his 3/4 of an inch stone. He's going to put it there himself when he gets it. So that's why I put the leather on each end like that. This flute here, since it's a high B flat, it has been produced with a 3/4 bore. Now, in the future, when I get a little bit more time, I'm going to start producing the middle tone B flat flutes. So this here is going to be the high tone. The middle tone is going to be a little bit larger, and of course the next tone will be the large bore bass flute. So you will have 3 different tones within the B flat family. When I get just a little bit more time, I will produce one of those flutes for you and do a video on that flute. This one here, this high B flat, as you can see, the finger holes are small and they are close together. The oil has just a little bit of a satin shine. It's been wrapped with gold soft deer leather. Up on the bottom, you will see JD Flutes, B flat, 432 Hertz on the bottom. It's right there on the bottom. Okay, before I play this one here, I'm going to show you what this one here looks like, tell you a little bit about that one, then I'm going to play them both right behind each other. I'm going to try to play basically the same tune. That way you can hear the difference. You will be able to tell the difference, trust me. Okay, the big boy here, this is the large bore, bass B flat, tuned to 432 Hertz. Now this flute here is a pretty long flute, folks. It's probably 32 inches long. So yes, he is a big boy. But this big boy will produce a very nice, deep, soothing tone. It's very calming, it's relaxing. You can meditate with this flute. You could do yoga with this flute. If you record the sound, you can do record. You could do many things with this flute. It is just, that's the type of voice it has. Okay, now you can see the difference between the large bore and the high, the small bore. You can see that difference. I mean, it is really obvious. You can probably put this flute inside of this one. That's how large this hole is, this bore. Okay. It's been bored out using a gun drill. This wood has not been split, folks. So it takes something to produce this large bore. It takes just a little bit. It takes a little bit of time to get this flute to play correctly. Even to bore that hole because it's so large. It's been bored using a 1 1/4 inch bit. As you can see, the oil, this is oil finish also on this flute, and it has a satin shine. The finger spacing, this might be a large flute, folks, but I promise you'll be able to play it because, as you can see, I don't have these finger holes stretched way down here. One here, one way up here. I have these holes where you can play this flute with ease. Even the top holes, see there, it's they are very close together. That's the way I designed this flute. I didn't want to design this flute to where only a few people could play it. I wanted to design this flute to where everyone can play it, even women. I've had women to purchase this flute. So yes, they can play it with small fingers. Those holes are not large, as you can see. They're not the size of your thumb. You know, I work hard to try to figure out this stuff to where you all can easily play these flutes. They don't take any work, you know, to play them. You don't be out of breath when you get through playing, it's like I said, it's just so relaxing, so soothing. When you play it, all you have to do is just relax, blow, and think about whatever is going on in your life. You'll have that time to think instead of trying to focus on how to play this flute all the time. You won't be worried about this flute. It will come naturally when you learn how to play it, because the finger holes, like I said, they are close together. It takes little breath. You won't have to be focusing on like, oh, God, this flute is killing me. Am I going to get the next? Am I going to be able to stretch and get to the next hole? You're not going to have to worry about that stuff. You're going to be able to play it with ease, and I promise you, you will enjoy this tone. This customer here wanted my wolf fetish. He didn't want turquoise eyes. So the holes for his eyes have been drilled all the way through. I wrapped it with soft, genuine deer leather. Beautiful flute, folks. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's got a little bit of sapwood on the bottom. Beautiful. Try not to hit my light over there. Up on the bottom you will see jdflutes, B flat, B with a small b. Small b means flat, folks. Tuned to 432 Hertz. That will be written right on the bottom. I'm going to start off with the small one first. That way you can really tell the difference. Wish I could play them both at the same time for you, but I only have one mouth. God didn't give me two mouths side by side. Okay. High B flat, tuned to 432 Hertz. Now you can tell the difference. High B flat. difference? See how both of these flutes will go good together in a recording? I'm going to go ahead and play something with the B flat instead of switching back and forth with the high one. If you have your tune, check it out. These flutes are perfectly in tune. Beautiful. Now the large bore. Even the small one's soothing to me, folks. You know, I like a high tone flute. It's calming and relaxing for me. You know, if there's no one around me and everything's quiet, maybe I'm just listening to the birds sing. You know, if I just hear that tone, it's relaxing for me. I can just sit around and just think about things, you know, clearly thoughts. I'm trying to come up with ideas. You know, it's just relaxing. If your mind's relaxed, you'll calm and you can just focus more without all of the distractions in the world. You know, you just listen to the music and just be one with yourself. I just wanted to get up closely for you, let you hear the tone. This flute sounds much better in person. That's why I tried to get you up close to where the sound's coming out of the sound hole instead of the end of the flute. Sometimes in this camera, the flute doesn't sound as clearly when I'm holding it up like this because, you know, the sound's coming out the end there. But if it's coming out of the sound hole, where it's going across the finger holes, it's a much clearer sound. That's why a lot of folks will take a mic and stick it right here. Couldn't you imagine, folks, what this flute sounds like with a mic, with some reverb, with some sound effects? You can only imagine. These flutes, I don't add any type of sound effects. I don't add any reverb to my videos because a lot of that stuff, believe it or not, will hide a lot of stuff. You know, it can make a very bad sounding flute sound like one of the best flutes in the world. That's why when I record these videos for you all, they are completely natural. You will know exactly what to expect when you purchase from me. I'm not hiding these voices, folks. When I go edit my videos, I don't add anything. The only thing I do to my videos is add my name and stuff at the end. Everything is completely natural. I might take and drop down the sound some so it doesn't get distorted, because some of these flutes, they have a high tone, you know, and if you don't drop it down, if you leave everything at 100%, it's going to distort and your sound's not going to be clear. So the only thing I do to my videos is drop my sound. That's all I do. Everything's natural. When you purchase from me, when you hear these voices, you'll know exactly what you're buying. Now there's a big difference. There's a huge difference between the large bore and this high. There's a huge difference because of size. But just remember, the way I make my flutes, you can play all of them with little breath. Now, this one here is not too much trouble. Now I'm going to explain to you about this large bore flute. When you get your flute through the mail, I'll have on there, please do not move this fetish. I'll have on there written. I have it typed up sometimes. You know, have a note there, please, when you're unwrapping this flute, do not move your fetish. Because here's the key to these large bore flutes. Now they are a trip sometimes. If you sit here and you don't take your time and you're unwrapping this stuff, you know, because you're excited, if you move this fetish around, if it gets loose or anything like that, if it's not completely straight, it's going to have an overblow tone. It's not going to be clear. You know, you're going to mess up. You're going to mess up your voice. And then you got to sit there and you got to figure out where I had your fetish. I have your fetish in a perfect position. Here's the key to these flutes. Do you see this sound hole here? This square hole, I call it the sound hole. Do you see this block? This block has to be perfectly straight across here. If it's at an angle any at all, this flute will overblow very easily, and it will not play with a crap, folks. It's got to be completely straight, because if you notice up under this fetish, up under this wolf, if you can see it, there's a groove up under there. I can't see it right now, I mean through the camera. Maybe you all can see it. But there's a groove cut up under there. That groove goes all the way to way back in here, folks. You got two holes up on this flute. You got one here, a small square hole, and you got a large square hole. That groove up on this wolf has got to cover both of those holes, and it's got to be completely straight in the perfect position for it to play correctly. If it's off just a little bit, think about it. Your air, when you blow through here, it's not flowing freely. It's not going freely through your flute because you're distorting it out with the fetish if it's sticking over. If that makes sense to you. So when you get your flute, folks, if you want it to play correctly, take your time when you're unwrapping it. I know you're excited, but just take your time, go with the flow, relax, calm down, and just untape your flute, unwrap it. It's going to be bubble wrapped and everything. Take the bubble wrap off carefully. When you lay your flute down, don't lay it on that wolf because it will move around. Now I have this leather tight. It's very tight, folks. It will not move the way I have it. When you do it, you just might not do it as tight as I do it. That's why I make these flutes to where you don't have to ever take these fetishes off. I have a video that shows you how to get your moisture out. You turn it upside down and your moisture will come out after you blow your moisture out. When I play, I don't really get moisture through my flutes. I don't slobber all in my flutes. That's why I'm able to play my flutes a long period of time. But remember that, folks, these large bore flutes, they are a trip. You get your flute, you might not think it's playing correctly. It's because you'll move this fetish around. It's got to be perfectly straight. It's got to be perfectly straight because you got two square holes. That groove up under there has got to be perfectly in line with both of those holes up under this fetish. Well, one up under it. It's got to be perfectly in line with this one and perfectly in line with that one for this flute to play correctly. But if you remember that, your flute will play just like it did when I'm playing on this video. Just remember that, folks. And I put both of these flutes on this video, but I will be doing a separate video with each flute. That way when you type in jdflutes B flat, it's going to jump to that, or jdflutes bass B flat, large bore B flat, whatever the case may be, it's going to jump to that. If you want to find this flute on YouTube right now, you just type up jdflutes. It'll have large bore. I have large bore bass. I'll probably have large bore B flat 432 hertz tuning, and I have maybe 2019 and in. If you type it in like that, jdflutes large bore bass B, large bore B flat 432 hertz. Or if you want to put 2019, because this is 2019, you will be able to find this flute. If you want to find the high one, you say JD Flutes High B flat, 432 Hertz. If you want to put 2019 in, you can. If you don't, you're still going to find it, because you have all that information right there. Whatever flute that you want from me, you just type it in. F sharp, C sharp, and it'll go right to those flutes, folks. That's why I name each and every one of these flutes. If you would like to have flutes like this, you can give me a phone call at 910-843-1738. Or if you want a complete price list right then, send me an email to jdflutes@yahoo.com. I'll give you the list of sale prices, many options, and photos of the fetishes that I'm making as of right now. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. It's Mother's Day tomorrow, Sunday. This is Saturday. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Mothers, you deserve it. Mothers, believe it or not. Mothers, believe it or not, men. You might not think they do anything every day, the ones that are stay-home moms. But let me tell you, guys, women work just as hard. It takes a lot of work keeping the house clean, cooking, taking care of kids. Toddlers, it takes a lot of work. They're into everything. You got to keep your eye on them. Those ladies are not lying around sleeping all day. If you're coming home to a clean house, if you come home with food on the stove, or if you don't, if you're gonna doggone go out to eat, that lady still worked hard because she's got kids. Those kids keep her going 24/7, believe it or not. You know, when you're around her, you should help that lady out, no matter if you have been out there and worked hard all day, sweated, got calluses on your hands. You should still help out with those kids. Make those kids mind their mother. She is important. Without a mother, guys, kids will not even be here. It takes two, but she's important. She's a near death. It's a near death situation when she's trying to have a baby. I know mine, my little boy liked to kill her coming out, you know, and I'm blessed. God saved both of them. He had lost his oxygen when he came out. He was white looking, you know, he didn't have any color, but the Lord blessed me to where both of them survived. So yeah, guys, treat those ladies right. Take them out to eat tomorrow, or just let them know that you love them, and let them know that they worked hard. They work hard each and every day. Thank you so much for everything. See you later. Happy Mother's Day.